I'm Dany. I'm married to Andy and we have 3 beautiful children. I'm a midwife and I go to Highgrove Church. My upbringing had some difficulties, some fear, went through quite a few things. And my mum and my brother and sister and I managed to escape. My father was very violent when I was about 12. And I became a Christian when I was 14. And there began the journey of healing for me. I had a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. And I'd go into periods of feeling very low. And I realised that there was a problem, so I went to see counsellors, and eventually I had some cognitive behavioural therapy to develop strategies of coping. But I felt that deep down there was still this fear that needed healing, and that would come up in anger. I'd get very angry when I was fearful as well. That wasn't very helpful. I got married to Andy and we had our first child. And when you become a parent, suddenly you're not just fearful for yourself, you're fearful for your child. And I would be terrified every time she got a temperature or anything went wrong. I would be absolutely terrified that something would happen to her. And we had another child. And the same fear, fear of losing my child, fear of some terrible trauma happening. And once I was holding Sophia's hand as we were walking along she was just walking on a very low wall. I was holding her hand and she slipped and I screamed. And my friend that was with me sort of laughed and was quite embarrassed, I think, at my overreaction. It was a low wall, she wasn't really going to hurt herself, but in my mind something terrible was going to happen. And I realised that I really needed help. I managed to get some lovely ladies to pray for me, and I realised the root of a lot of the fear was also based in unforgiveness. I had a lot of areas where I needed to forgive, and I think when you're older you realise that you need to be forgiven so much more than when you're a teenager. So in that realisation that I myself needed lots of forgiveness from Jesus, I was then able to finally forgive my father and some of the terrible things that had happened to me. And I found that now I'm walking in a much newer level of freedom that I never had before. And we've been blessed with the 3rd child, and the fruit was that I was able to enjoy my pregnancy without fear, give birth without fear. And now when I look at her playing in the mud, just putting everything in her mouth and, taking her first sort of trial steps, I'm not terrified like I was before. If she has a temperature, I give her some Calpol and I look out for her symptoms, but I'm not, terrified that something's going to happen. And it's just an amazing place to be, where you feel more free. And I know that that's just the power of God, that he's done that for me. So thank you, Jesus.